All right, let's check in on one of the most impactful federal court cases in Portland in recent memory. It involves what would be the largest grocery merger in U.S. history. Fred Meyer's parent company, Kroger, wants to buy Safeway's ownership in Albertsons. The trial began last week and is expected to last well into next week. The Federal Trade Commission sued to block the $24.6 billion merger, saying it will decrease competition in the grocery market, which could mean higher prices. They also worry it's going to be bad for labor. Yesterday, the feds rested their case, and today Kroger's defense began their side. Their first witness was their own CEO, Rodney McMullen. We checked in with Bloomberg reporter Leah Nyland for her takeaways from his testimony.
He also spent a lot of time talking about the promises that they have promised to make to the stores and for associates post-merger. They have pledged that they will improve wages at Kroger by $1 billion. That includes like wage improvements, like straight up raises, but also Kroger will be bringing a program that it has that helps people get higher education to all of the Albertsons stores. They also have promised to what they call price investments, which is a fancy way of saying they are going to spend money on cutting prices. And they said that they will spend at least $1 billion a year on cutting prices if the merger goes through. The FTC had a lot of questions for them about this and pointed out that this is not legally binding. You know, they say right now that they're going to cut prices, but there's no legally binding way to hold them to that. And his sort of response to that was they've made this public announcement, they've told it to investors. And so, you know, they feel that like by making it public, they're going to take a hit to the reputation if they don't actually follow through with this promise, so that they're very serious about these investments that they're going to make in improving stores and cutting prices and with workers.
After Kroger CEO stepped off the stand, the head of Albertsons was up next.
He said he really feels that the merger is the best path forward for the company because, again, of the scale that it will give Albertsons to better compete against some of the giants like Walmart and Costco. He also announced that, you know, if the merger doesn't go through, he said they're going to have to make some tough decisions on what the company will do going forward. And that could include job reductions, layoffs. It could include store closures, or even Albertsons choosing to leave particular markets altogether. The FTC was a little bit skeptical about this. They pointed out that Albertsons has repeatedly said in its SEC filings and before Congress when it testified about this merger 2 years ago that it said that it's a financially sound company. It continues to compete. It had more than $4.3 billion in profits last year, so it's not as though it's like on the brink of going out of business.
Great stuff, Leah. Thank you. We'll continue to follow this trial for the rest of the weekend. Next week, be sure to check out Leah's fantastic reporting on the case. She has much more to write about than we're able to fit into this show. You can find her stories at Bloomberg.com.